both agree that we are okay with releasing you from our agreement and you can use somebody else. Okay, that's one option. And the other option is, and if it's a one-form seller, the nice one, you would just say, we put together an amendment to the listing agreement to adjust a few things. And if it's a two-form one, you'd say, here's our other option. Okay, and what I did was I met with a group of realtors, showed everybody the highlight sheet here, and we all agreed that the price is high, and you and I know that already. And we also agreed on a couple other things. So on the amendment here, and I want you to make a note, I want you to put 3 things on the amendment. Okay, 3 things. Number 1, the new price. Number 2, a commission bonus. And number 3, extend the length of time that you lost. So what was number 1?
New price.
And number 2?
Commission bonus,
And number 3?
extended time.
Extend the time that you lost. So if it's 2 weeks, you extend it 2 weeks. If it's a month, you extend it. So you hand them over the termination, right? And then you tell them what it is to release them if they want. My broker approves it. And then I met with some other realtors, and we decided that we figured out the price was too high. So on the amendment here, I put in the price we recommend. It should be $380. We put in a commission bonus. That way we can offer a bonus to all the buyer agents. Reignite all that interest, okay? And I've seen commission bonuses way more than 1%. I've seen commission bonuses up to $50,000, even $100,000. In Calgary, you don't see the 50 or 100, but I've seen 5 or 10. I've seen 50 to 100 in Surrey where I teach. Like literally, on a $2 million property, I've seen a $100,000 bonus for somebody to bring an offer. Isn't that
Crazy.
yeah, but 1% is good, so you'd go from 3.5 and 1.5 to what? 4.5 and 2.5, right?
Yeah.
Offering to, and so you let them know that that commission bonus is not for me. It's for who?
The buyer.
Yeah, you're gonna still just keep your half, okay? And then you say, we also lost a couple weeks, so I'm just extending it to, you know, whatever 2 weeks more is. And you slide it over to them, and then what do? You got to make it their decision, which one do they want to sign, and you be quiet. Just be quiet. Now here's a couple of scenarios. The one that you're not getting along with, yeah, they could say, great, we just want to use somebody else. Where do I sign? You're done, you walk out, take care, and you know, try not to be mean either way or nothing, just relieved, and you're that's it. Okay, so that's good. That's a good thing. If it's, you know, nobody's getting along, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that happens sometimes is the seller for HE double hockey sticks gets a little bit of impact communication, a little shock in their system. They kind of go, oh yeah, you know what, I've had so much stress lately, and you know, we've got the kids this and my job that, and I apologize. I feel that, you know, if I can just settle down a little bit, you're doing a fine job, and we'll do a couple of these adjustments. And they may do the amendment. Does that make sense? Now, either the seller from HE double hockey sticks adjusts his attitude and you just support that, and they're going to either accept all 3 on the list, or they're going to just let you do 2 or 1. But the most important one is what out of the 3?
The price.
Price. Right? So if they say they'll give you a commission bonus and give you extend the time, but they won't reduce the price, you might say, no, we've got to do that. Okay? If they say, I'll give you the price, but no commission bonus, no length of time, you might say, okay, we can work with that. We'll see how it goes again for another couple weeks.
Yeah.
Okay? So they may do all 3, they may only do 2, they may only do 1, but if they're only going to do 1 or 2, it has to include the price, in my opinion. Fair enough?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So, and if they don't want to do all 3, when they cross it out, you just get an initial. Everyone knows that. And I'm just saying it for the newer people. You can change anything on anything. You just have to get everybody to initial. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, and like you said, you just wait and just see what they say. So you got, like, there's 3 options, there are 3 scenarios, right? You got the termination, or you got the amendment with all 3, or you got the amendment with less than 3. And then with the people that you don't have to let them know that they can use somebody else. Because I want you to keep your listings. I just don't want you to be abused.
Yeah.
Some of them don't even know they're abusing you. But you know, have you ever dealt with somebody that's just being really mean to you, and it's all about them, so they don't even know they're doing this to you? You know, and you really have to tell them, and that's why sometimes it works. All right, so the question is this: what's the difference between a buyer's agent and a selling agent or a listing agent. What do you think's the difference? I just want to let you know that a buying agent helps people buy with emotion. And a listing or a selling agent helps people list their property with logic. It's numbers, timing. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Now you might say, well, when we're writing an offer with a buyer, that's not just emotion. No, when logic fails, just remember, when logic fails, you need to switch to, or when emotion fails, you need to switch to logic. Okay, I know that came up just now. It says do not terminate without broker approval, but I already said that earlier. But back on, when you're working with a buyer, if you're walking through a property, you're always talking about how they're going to live in the property, right? We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we'll be able to have fun in this room with that, and all these different things. Then some sort of reality check kicks in and they go, but you know, it's kind of, maybe it might be hard for us to pay full price. And you'll just say, let's not worry about the price, the logic. Let's continue with the showing, emotion, and we'll talk back at the office. When you get back to the office, you switch to logic, and that's where you're starting to crunch numbers and you're starting to write an offer. With a listing, the listing presentation, everything's done with logic. You can still have fun with it. I'm just saying, the pricing is based on some facts, isn't that right? Yeah. Not just emotion. Emotion is a seller that has lived there for 4, 5, 6 years. They redid the deck. He spent quite a bit of time on it. He's not a contractor, so he had to spend 3 times as long. He probably did a great job because he's a meticulous type person. Problem is, in his mind, it's worth twice as much as if, any other deck. I mean, he'd use the heavy duty nails, that kind of thing. He's got, all these extra things he did. He could have even replaced the door, and he did extra. And so even if he doesn't think that way, subconsciously he feels there's more value, right? So we have to keep everything with logic, and then we switch to emotion. By the way, on a listing appointment, if you're in pricing and they're not happy, that's logic. You switch to emotion by saying, okay, let's just take a break from the pricing and you can continue to tell me more about the house you're moving into, about your plans. That's switching from logic to emotion. It's very powerful. If you want to know advanced salesmanship, all the advanced salesmanship I'm giving you is all the small details, the little things I'm telling you to do. And the person that does the little things faster gets yeses more often, gets more listings, gets more sales, and works fewer hours. The person that doesn't pay attention to that stuff, you'll learn the hard way, so maybe you'll get there someday, but in the meantime, oh boy, I tell you, sometimes it takes forever to just do one deal. And you feel like you've been just put through the ringer. By the time this is all done, you're exhausted, and you think, holy crap, it took 2 weeks to do that deal, and this guy's telling me to do 1 or 2 a week. I don't know how I'm going to fit that in. Right? It's the little things that help you to fit it in, yes?
Yes.
So when do you have the perfect listing? Ooh. When do you have the perfect listing? What do you think? So the perfect listing is a saleable listing, obviously, yes, and somebody said the right price. That's true. So tell me if this is a perfect listing for you. The comparables are all around 400. The place is in decent shape, so the comparables are good. And you listed it at 400,000 or 399.9, but they're only giving you 2% commissions, and they're only letting you list it for 30 days. Is that the perfect listing?
No.
Should you take that listing?
No.
Can you take that listing?
Yes.
I don't think so. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and put it broker loaded at 30 days and see what happens. What do you think will happen?
Oh, you need a minimum.
Looks fine.
What do you
It
think will
should
happen?
be at least 60 days.
Yeah, and by the way, don't say that because you only get 60 days.
Yeah.
But you can't list a property for less than 60 days.
Right.
Did you? Who knew that? Put up your hand. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get a better answer for a while there. Anyways, you want to have the right terms as well, yes? And the right length of time. So if you had a listing that the comparables were 400-ish and you listed it just under 400, and the commissions were the most common commissions. Most provinces and states are 6 and 6. 6% on the whole value. Only a few provinces that I know of drop their commissions after 100 grand,
Yeah.
which is a real shame. And we should all not do that. That's my opinion. But if you're in a province where it's usually 7 on the first 100,000 and then almost nothing after the balance, then you have no room to reduce your commissions, that's for sure. Because you're not getting paid much after, unless it's $1 million place. For the amount of work you do anyways, in my opinion. So I hope you all get 6%. So in your terms, hopefully it says 6% and you're offering 3. And it includes all the chattels and stuff, and all the things are put into place, and the RPR is done, and it's in compliance, all that stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then for length of time, you should have a minimum of how long? 6 months. So make a note of that, and I'll teach you how to get a 6-month listing. That'll be your minimum. How many months?
6 months.
Which is how many days?
180.
Not 60. 180. That's the minimum. And we're going to teach you that today as well. Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay, so now if you had a listing that was worth around 400, listed at 395, and you had commissions were proper or even a bonus, and you had all the appliances included, and the place is pretty showable and clean and stuff, and then you got a 6-month listing, that to me would be the what?
Perfect.
Perfect listing.
Yeah.
And it would be very
Saleable.
saleable. Make sense?
Yes.
So the question you have to ask yourself is, when do you turn down a listing? Now, I would like you to consider this. I would like you to turn down a listing if you don't get all 3. That's what you'll do when you're a top producer. So the question is, when are you a top producer? So you start acting like one, yes?
Yes.
Not after you do 50 deals. You could start doing the first one of your 50, and because you're acting like a top producer, you do your 50 within a year. But if you say, I'm not going to act like one until I do 50, that'll take you 5 years. You'll do about 10 a year. So you need to act like one to get the 50 within a year, and it doesn't matter if you're brand new or not. So, but I guess if you're brand new, I'll give you a little bit of flexibility here, but you're going to learn from your mistakes then. So maybe at least your rule of thumb is that, if I can't even get one, I won't take it. So, but which one? Like, if you can't get your commissions, like think about this. What if it's worth 400, it's listed at 400, you got a 6-month listing, but they only gave you enough to offer the buyer agents and you get nothing? Is that worth taking?
No.
No.
No, of course not. Okay. What if they said, we got the right price, we'll give you your commissions, but we're only listed for 60 days. Should you take that one?
No.
Now, if you want to, you could, based on that, right? But remember, as soon as you list it, you're going to be thinking about how am I going to extend this thing? Because you could get an offer, tie it up for a month, 2 weeks, after an offer, and then a deal falls apart. Now you only got 30 days left. Now what are you thinking? How do I get an extension, right? So I'm going to teach you on that. So let us play a little game here. Ooh. It's called high-low game. And we know that every neighborhood has a range. When I teach this, there's some good facts to go by here. But at the same time, I always like to have a little fun in the class. Realtors typically like to stay serious all the time. They don't like to go in on a listing appointment and do a listing appointment to a couple that likes to have fun. Realtors like to be serious. And commissions are serious to realtors. They're not serious to this couple. They're fine paying it, right? So I'm just thinking, if you go in on an appointment and these people are kind of, easygoing and they're, when we want to match that? Instead of making them feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, if you ever had it where somebody wants to have some fun, but you just don't feel like it, and, but you still try to, that's what this moment is for. We're going to play a game.
Okay.
We got Team A against Team B. Okay, Team A and Team B are going to be asked some questions, and as a group, I'll ask you a question, and I'll say, for example, every property has a range. I mentioned that when we were talking, 380 to 400 sort of thing. And it depends what's happening with this each question on where you price it in the range. On a $400,000 house, the range might be $20,000 or $30,000, right? And so, if you're playing this game and you kind of are taking it serious, it's hard to have fun with it. But if the little kid in you, remember when you were 10 and you started playing a game, if you could find an edge, if you could find the answer without thinking even, and you knew it was right, without thinking at all, but you knew it was right, you'd take it. If somebody asked you, and your answers are always either high or low, right? You either say high or low. So if I said blah, 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 and you would say high, and we'll play it like some of these games, we'll say, is that your final answer? Now, what game is that from? Final answer. Anybody know?
Millionaire game?
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so. And then they'll say their final answer. I'll go, final answer, they go, yeah, and I'll go, survey says. And what's that game from? Survey says.
Oh, the
Family
Family Feud.
Huh?
Family
Feud.
Survey says?
Yeah.
Family Feud.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so we'll do that, and we're gonna play it like that. And I'm just thinking that if you guys know the answer, before we have to explain it very much, the little kid in you, just follow that, just say, oh, we agree, it's high, and you maybe not even understand the question as much as you want, but you know that's the answer.
Okay.
You'll see as we go. The serious ones can't do it, they're like, you've gotta figure this all out. Even though I know the answer, you know, meaning high or low, they don't want to say it until they can figure it out. And I'll say to you, after we do the game, we're going to figure it all out anyways. So right now we're on emotion, which is fun. And then we're going to switch to logic and explain everything. But some people in the bigger classes anyways, there's always a couple people, they don't want to have fun. They just will not have fun at all. They just don't like it. So, let's see, if we start here, let's see, we got this way, and that goes there, so we're going to start with Team B, okay? We're going to say to Team B, if you have, remember, every property, every neighborhood has a price range for houses. So you go and you got the range. Remember, when you talk to somebody on the phone, they may have said how much their home was worth, but you still got to do some research to look at the comparables. And our comparables started at 374, right?
Yes.
And they went up to about 400. So there's my range. So what would determine it to be closer to 374 and what would determine it to be to 400? That's where we're at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So Team B, if you went over there and the property was in great condition, would that be in the high end of the range or the low end of the range?
Low.
That's the low end? He says low. Once you guys just talk amongst yourselves, high or low? Together?
High.
High or
Can
low?
you repeat the question please
High.
again?
Sure, if you went over there, it's in good condition.
High.
High.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yes.
Survey says,
High.
hey, push it again.
Nothing?
Oh, let me try this. I gotta get my phone in here. There it is. Hey, give yourself a hand. Write down. Okay, just write it down and give yourself a point. So now you're winning 1-0. You're beating Team A. How do you guys feel about that, Team A?
Very good.
Now, somebody on Team B answered for Team A, said, don't throw your voices. I said, how you doing, Team A? And he said, very good. So don't throw your voice like that, okay?
Okay.
In other words, you guys don't answer when I'm asking. Some people don't know what I mean by throw your voice. Everyone understand what I mean by throw your voice?
Yes.
Okay, so don't throw your voice. So Team B, don't answer while I'm talking to them, and then when I'm talking to them, you guys don't answer.
Got it.
All right, so Team A, you go over to this place, and when you walk through it, it needs repair. Is that the high end of the range or the low end of the range?
Low.
High. High.
I heard something over here. Who said that? So stop throwing your voice. Can you guys stop that? Okay. So what did you say?
Low.
Low. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, survey says, hey, give yourself a hand. And write it down and give yourself a point. So we're tied 1-1. So let's go over to Team B here. We say you went over there, and the seller says they have all the time. Just, we're not in a rush. Is that the high end of the range or the low end of the range? What do you think?
That's
High.
good.
Is that your final answer?
High.
Yeah.
He says
high.
no. I think as a group, is that your final answer?
Yes.
High.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, survey says, hey, give yourself a hand, write it down. Now, when the market's dropping, that's why you guys hesitated, because, you know, if they take too much time, they're gonna lose money and have to take it off the market or something. But in generally speaking, if they have time and the market was staying or going up, you know, you could list it at the high end of the range. Make sense? All right, well, they're beating you 2-1. What do you think of that?
I don't like that.
Don't like that at all. Good. I'm glad you didn't throw your voice. It sure happened a lot there for a while. So Team A, you guys ready?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if the kid in you has figured it out yet. But if the kid in you has figured it out, I gotta try, okay?
Yeah.
Without even saying anything, I just want to ask you guys, high or low?
Low.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Hey, give them a hand, they're right. Go figure. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that right? Let's see if Team B got it, right? The little kid in you maybe figured out something. The adult, the serious adult right now is going,
Which one?
the kid is going, well, I know what it is. What's the answer?
High.
High.
Those guys aren't getting it. You better talk to
You
them.
guys, it's hi.
Now, do they know, do you guys know why they said hi?
I could not understand the question.
Can you tell them? So I can take a sip of it.
Yeah, what's the question? I didn't.
I'm a realtor, I have to know the question. I can't just give you the answer. Didn't I say that earlier?
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't say the answer because I don't have the question. But the kid in you knows there's a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Yeah, there you go. Like, who cares what the question is? We're having a game. And the game is for you to beat these guys. Who cares about the question?
If it is about money, then I want a lot of money.
No, it's about winning the game. So give yourself a hand. Team B, Team A to tie the game. To make everybody winners, what's the answer?
Low.
I mean, yeah. See, guys, you know what you can learn from this? You guys, should we just play the game? What you can learn from this is sometimes you can get things answered and things signed and things done with hardly any effort. And the only one that messes it up is a realtor that goes, yeah, I gotta know more. Like, oh, just take the signature, man, and move on. Like, come on, you know? Oh, something you said earlier, we better talk about it, and these people are already signed. Then the people go, okay, we're gonna wait now, and they're like, why did I say that? So a good little game where it sounds like there's some value in here from education-wise. I try to remove that and say, let's just have some fun. And you guys did a pretty good job.
Wow.
Well, Terry tried to. Right? But we'll get into all this anyways, don't worry. Just remember, as we move into some of the training about this, the high-low, is that houses are like people, it's what's inside that counts. Okay, gang?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to break the training into a little quick game. Just have a little fun with that, okay? So, let's see here. We've got a couple more slides and then we'll have lunch. And I'm going to push the button in a second here, so I'll give you another few seconds to write that bottom part. And I just want to mention the process again, so you remember where you're at. So before you even got there, what did you do to prepare yourself for a listing appointment? You took some training
Yeah.
and you paid money for it. Yes?
Yes.
You bought yourself some nice
Close.
clothes. Cleaned up. Well, these are clothes.
Not close.
Clothes. Not clothes. See, but they were talking, so they didn't hear what I was saying. They just heard. But did you guys hear what I said before that? You got it. Okay. So you got money you've invested in, time. You had to put your yellow folder together.
Yeah.
You got a checklist for that.
Yeah.
You bought or worked hard to put all this stuff together for your listing presentation in a book form or a computer. You pay for your office fees, you pay for your real estate board fees, you got all this stuff. You haven't even got any money coming in yet. You're earning money, I might add, I think.
Yeah.
You're earning money because you do your taxes once a year and this is how much money you're claiming, taxable income for everything you did for the previous year.
Right.
Good or bad and the ugly, it just covers everything. That's a good attitude, agreed?
Yes.
Okay, so now you pull up in front of the house, focused, walk to the front door, ring the bell, smile, pay them a sincere compliment, take them to the kitchen table, sit down, and talk about anything about real estate, maybe your brochure, your bio, or your hobbies, or whatever. Then you open up your book or turn on your computer and you just say, here, let me tell you what we got here for you, just 7 quick steps. Or 7 easy steps. I prefer easy than quick. Because you don't want to start buying into the fact that people are never rushed, but they sometimes act like they're rushed. Because they feel if they calm down and take their time with you, that they're going to be signing for sure. You're going to make them sign. People, isn't it bizarre how some people react though to a salesperson? Like for any kind of salesperson, let alone a realtor, some are scared for you to even come in their house, like as if you're going to make them do something. We don't make people do anything. Make sense? So anyways, we go over the 7 steps. Don't forget that. Series of questions, preview the property, come back, go over the marketing plan. Once they're sold on you and your marketing and your company, you show them how most successful sellers pick the right price. You move to the pricing segment. And I'm going to show you 3+1 ways to present price right now, or 3 for sure. Maybe the 4th one before lunch. We'll see about the food, okay? Yeah, it'll probably be before. We'll role play a bit. But you're going to actually show them how we pick the right price. And if they said that we agree on a price, or if that price, you said 400, we'd probably go, right? Then we do the net sheet, and then we explain the forms, and we probably get the signatures as we go. And remember, I need to say this one more time. and I'm not gonna put anybody on the spot. Are you on your phone?
Yeah, I'm switching it off.
That's why I don't want him sitting back there anymore. I want him right here for now, because you've been on your phone every week. I've been seeing it. It's a distraction. Okay, so what was I saying?
3 methods.
Picking up someone,
There was,
Picking the
yeah,
right
so,
price.
so then we get the price on the net sheet, they sign, the net sheet, and you go into the forms, they sign, and then you get out. And you don't run, but you know, you get the key box and you get the sandwich board and all that kind of stuff, okay? All right, so we all know that when we do get to the pricing segment, how much time and money do we have invested by the time we get to step 4? How much time, first of all? What do you think?
A couple hours for sure.
How much? 5 minutes?
No.
No? I would say from the moment they called you and all the little things you did to get ready for listing appointment, not including training and office meetings and everything, but including driving, you've invested an hour just to show up.
Yeah,
So can we say that? Seems
Yes.
fair?
yes.
Okay, and then we asked them 15 questions, previewed the property, went over the marketing, and they had questions, and then we went into pricing. And how long did that all take? At least an hour. You're lucky if it's less than an hour. So just to be safe, we've got 2 hours invested. I need you to understand, you got 2 hours minimum invested, not including the training you paid for, not including the clothes you bought, don't say cha-ching, and, not including the brokerage fees and all this stuff. You with me?
Yes.
So you got a substantial amount invested here, so don't give up so easy.
Okay.
So first thing is I want to go over this, is the 3 methods. The first one is the good price method. The good price method is a very rare method that you will use, but a lot of realtors don't recognize it when it comes, and they start to mess up things. And let me explain the good price method. This is a price they gave you on the phone. Do you guys remember your prospecting track you have on the wall by your desk?
Yes.
Do you remember that twice you asked them what price range home they live in or how much they want for their house?
Yes.
And they told you. He said 400.
Yeah.
He told me on the phone. I did my research. And guess what? 400 is a good price. That happens very rarely. Usually they're still a little high. But every once in a while. Okay? Let's say my comparables came in at 410 and 415 and 413 and 408 and he said 400 and I'm like, oh, perfect. So when you go there, remember you've already got an hour invested to get there, you got another hour invested by the time you get to step 4. When you get to step 4, you'll say, let me show you how most successful sellers pick the right price, except this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so just make a note of that. You won't actually say that. You'll say, here, let's go over the pricing segment. Right? And you'll say, so, I just want to, now you need to confirm that they're confirm that they're sold on you and your company. Confirm step 3. Okay, make sure you confirm step 3. So what was step 3? The marketing plan, yes? Remember the marketing plan?
Yes.
So when you finish the marketing plan, you say, it all begins with our relationship. Can we put this to work for you today? And they say, yeah, you know, everything sounds great. We love all stuff about your company, but we're just not sure about the price yet. You say, okay, so you do like everything I've showed you so far, other than the price, you'd be ready to move forward today. So they've confirmed they're really happy with you and your company, your marketing. Just be very clear on that. And then what you do is you say to them, yeah, I just want to let you know, I did my research, and that price you gave me on the phone is a good price. At 400, you said, Arbis.
Yes.
Dick Shaw, that's
Yes.
price. It's a good price.
Yeah.
So we can just put that on the net sheet. Fair enough? Now there's 2 scenarios. One scenario is both of them sitting here say, great, and they just put it on the net sheet. Before you go to what if they still want to see comps, let's just play this out. What if you say the price you gave us on the phone is good, I did my research. You still have your comps here in your folder. But I don't want you to pull out the comps. See, if the comps show 403, 408, 412, 413, and they're ready to list at 400, what will happen if you pull out the comps?
I want more.
List more.
They'll want listed at 420.
Yeah.
Now it's overpriced.
Yeah.
Okay? Now that doesn't mean that won't happen. It might. But you don't need to be the one to mess it up. If they say they want to see it, then you got more work to do. But if they don't say it, you just say, so the price you said on the phone was good. I did my research, and you can put it on the net sheet. Fair enough? And they go, sure.
Yeah.
And if they do it, that's what I'm saying. Put 400 and work out the net sheet. Okay? So you take out the net sheet, you work it out, you get the listing signed, you get out quickly. Does Sounds good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, this only happens like 1 out of 100 times. They'll either say, do you have any comparables? And then you'll have to move towards step 2 here that I'm going to show you, or method number 2. Plus, the majority of the time when they give you a price on the phone, it's usually at least a little high. I know I said it's very rare that some sellers think their home's worth more than it really is. But that's just to make you laugh.
Yeah.
Truth of the matter, most sellers think their home's worth more than it really is.
Everyone.
You know, like a lot, right? So if they want around 400 on the phone, they'll probably say we want about 420.
Yeah.
Right.
Some might even say 450 and 480 and some crazy numbers, but, you know, so we're just showing you different methods of presenting price, yeah?
Sometimes when you agree, 400, by the time you get to their house, oh, I was thinking we kind of change our mind. Now we want 420, 420.
Yeah, they can change their mind too.
Yeah.
So, but let's pretend that they said 400, you did your research, the comparables were around there or a bit higher, and you just told them that was a good price, I did my research, we can put that on the net sheet, and they just said, great.
Yeah.
And they're fine with it. Do the net sheet, do the net, go to the next step, get everything signed, and then leave. But put the key box on first, get the sandwich board up front, go knock on some neighbors' doors before you leave, because you look the part, right? You got some credibility with a new listing. Now, if they say, well, before we put the 400, did you bring some of the comparables, or do you have a CMA, right? Then you would start doing what I'm about to teach next. But I also want you to know that some of them, or most of them, will say a higher price. And you'll need to use the CMA adjuster, or what I would call using the sales in the area, the comps. That's the most common one. Okay, but it was really important I mentioned the good sale price, or the good price, because most realtors, when that does happen, they go straight to method 2. And then next thing you know, they think, oh crap, why did I even, oh there, somebody's got to get paid for that one.
Me.
There's about 40 bucks owing right now. Well, he owns 50 bucks now, because he's on his phone every day. So the next time, we have to take away his phone. For sure. But what you guys should do is, out of respect for me and learning how to be in control of your phone, is all your phones and your watches, whatever they are, should be off while we're teaching. Fair enough?
Yes.
Just turn it off. It's good for you, and it's respectful for me. Fair enough?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you know what? The lady had to put her phone in the trunk because she kept on going for it. So, like I said, with you in the back there, you might say, "I'll give your phone to Peter." Then you won't be touching your phone because you're going to want to keep looking at it, right? So, just trying to figure it out, right? The CMA adjuster is this. So, let me show you how most successful sellers pick the right price. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? And it was kind of like what we did here. I've got a net sheet. We got to figure out, or you're going to help, we're going to all figure out together the price we're going to put on there. So I've got the history of your property. If it was on MLS, you can print off a highlight sheet from 4 years ago or 40 years ago. Make sense? And you just took a highlighter with what you use to search for the comparables. What do you put in to search for the comparables? The neighborhood, the style. Neighborhood and style are right away the main